fucking finally.
What the fuck you gonna do? Pop me in the wide open too bit?
I should. Since you still owe me, nigga. Got a letter from that white lawyer. You knew I had beef with your pop. So he sent me some valuable information. I'm thinking 100 bands on top of what you already owed on your tab. And I want the keys to your ride.
Nigga, what?
You can take mine. It'll be worth knowing where Tasha's hold up.
What kind of shit is this?
Unless you want somebody to shoot your moms.
What the fuck are you talking about? Here.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy DC, and I'm here with a new reaction video to Power Book 2 Go Season 3, Episode 9. This is the recap. Now, if you're a huge fan of Power like me, and you like the videos I upload and create, make sure you hit that like button, that subscribe button, and turn on your post bell notifications to get notified every time I upload a video. Also, leave your comments and theories down below in the comment box. Now, overall, Episode 9 was lit. Sorry for the delay, by the way. I had a very, very busy weekend, and I wasn't able to sit down and recap the episode like I wanted to. But we here now. We about to talk about this episode. A lot of OG characters return from the original show of Power. Your boy 2-Bit returned. Your boy Tommy Egan returned. Tasha returned. Tamika returned. Man, this was like one big ass family reunion from the original show of Power, because we had the OGs returning. And we ain't gonna waste no time. We about to get straight into this recap because this episode was lit. Now the episode starts off with Tariq and Kane. We see Tariq and Kane racing to Davis' office. Kane confronts Tariq about Lauren being alive, and he thinks Tariq set up Effie to get arrested. Reek tells Kane he didn't know Lauren was still alive, and he had the situation taken care of until Kane interfered with his plan. He didn't tell Kane he'd been trying to be like him since they met, and they began fighting once Tariq throws a punch at Kane. And I'm not gonna lie, Kane was up in Davis' office whooping Tariq ass. And Brayden, if you watching this video, I need you to
Teach your man how to squabble.
Cause Tariq was getting his ass whooped. Kane was throwing this boy all around that damn office. Davis comes in and he breaks up the fight. Him and Tariq have a conversation about what happened to Theo and Sax. Davis tells Reek Sax deserved a bullet, and it should have been him that took out Sax instead of Theo. Tariq tells Davis that he found the police report about women, and Davis shows Reek a copy of the police report, asking him if this the same one, and Tariq says yeah. Davis tells Tariq that Monet stole Whitman's file from his apartment, and he kept a copy of it just in case Monet tried to do something against him, and it proved Monet had motive to take out Whitman. Davis explains that if Sax knew about this, then the feds know too, and this could mess them up all the way. Tariq takes the report away from Davis and tells him he's going to hide it so the feds won't find out about it, and he tells him if the feds ask about Sax, just say he doesn't know anything, and they both agree to the plan that they have. Now we get to the next scene with Effie, and we see Effie locked up. Blanca and Jenny got Effie in the interrogation room, and Effie ain't trying to tell them nothing. She tells them she wants her attorney, and she ain't got nothing to say to them. Jenny and Blanca both get a text from Agent Medina, and Agent Medina reveals to them that Cooper Sax has died. Jenny, Blanca, and Agent Medina is IDing the body of Cooper Sax, and Jenny begins to break down in tears and start crying. Like, what the hell is you crying for, Jenny? Sax told you he needed the protection, and you sat there and ignored him and told him no. Now he dead, you want to sit here and cry and all this stuff? Man, miss me with the puppy dog tears, bruh. I don't want to hear that. Jenny and Blanca is having a conversation with Agent Medina. Medina tells them that Theo intercepted Sax in the parking lot. Blanca tells Medina that Davis and Theo could have set this up, and if they knew about Sax being at the police department, then they possibly got to him before they raided Tariq's warehouse. And this pissed Blanca off. Blanca started telling Medina Sax was dumb and he should have been more careful like she told him to. And Jenny started coming to Sax's defense, telling Blanca that Sax sacrificed his life for them. And without his testimony, they don't have nothing on Tariq. And if they don't get Effie to flip on Tariq, they could lose this case. Now we get to the next scene with Kane and Brayden, and Kane smacks the hell out of Brayden's ass with his truck door. I'm not gonna lie, he hit Brayden hard as fuck, and Brayden would just stand there and talk about some Kane, like, bro, if you don't get your ass out the way, you see this man coming at you in full speed, and you just gonna let this man hit you with his truck. Kane points a gun at Brayden, asking him if he's a narc, and he wants to know if Brayden knew about Lauren being alive this whole time. Brayden tells him no, and he tells him that the night Lauren was allegedly murdered, Effie knocked her out and drove off without him, and he don't know what happened. Kane tells Brayden that Lauren is still alive, and Effie was arrested after Lauren ID'd her to the feds. Brayden tells Kane they gotta do something about it, but first, he needs to go to the hospital, and he asks Kane if he could take him there, and Kane just leave Brayden on the floor to suffer in pain. And I'm not gonna lie, Kane and Brayden gotta throw hands now. Like, Brayden, I understand you trying to be cool with Kane and get on Kane's good side, but Kane does not like you. He just using you for his own benefits. And you go sit there and let this man hit you with his truck and put you in the hospital? Yeah, Brayden, you got to throw hands with Kane. I'm sorry, but you got to man up, get some balls or something, and throw them hands with Kane, because you can't just sit here and let Kane keep punking you around. Now we get to the next scene with Monet and Diana, and Monet is reading the letter that Saxe left for her after his passing. And in the letter, Saxe tells Monet that Tariq is responsible for his murder, Tariq is the reason why her family is falling apart, and he also tells her that Tariq has been working with the feds. Monet doesn't believe it at first until Diana reads the letter, and Diana tells her that Saxe said Tariq set her up to be arrested. Diana explains to her mom that Tariq was the one that told her to hide her product on a roof, and that's how the feds was able to come after her. Monet then tasks Diana to find out more information about it, and she tells Diana this could possibly be a setup, so they need to be aware of the moves that they make until they figure this out. Now Tariq goes and visits Braden in the hospital, and Braden tells Tariq that Kane hit him with his truck after he found out that Lauren was still alive and Effie was arrested, and now he thinks Braden has something to do with Effie's arrest. Tariq tells Braden that him and Kane was throwing hands over the same situation, and Braden wants to know why did Kane come after Tariq the way he did. And Braden finally realizes that Tariq knew about Lauren being alive this whole time, and he didn't tell him about it. Tariq tells Braden that he had to keep it a secret from him because him and Effie tried to take out Lauren, and he couldn't trust him with that information. Tariq tells Braden he needs to handle the situation with his uncle Lucas, and Braden tells him he'll take care of it when he gets out the hospital. And he just wants a day off to chill, relax by the pool, and play Fortnite and all this stuff. Like, Braden, you chose this lifestyle. You can't just be one to take a day off and relax and all this stuff. Like, nah, you chose the game. This is what comes with the game. So you gotta live by the rules and play the game correctly. You just can't be trying to cheat the game and just want to take a break whenever you feel like it. Like, nah. That's not how the game works, but we find out later on in the episode that Braden finally mans up and did what needed to be done. Now, Evelyn meets up with Monet, and Evelyn wants to know where's Drew at. She tells Monet that she saw the video online of Drew floating around about him admitting that Gordo is gone, and she wants to know what happened to Gordo. Monet tells Evelyn she doesn't know what happened to Gordo, and Evelyn tells Monet to stop lying. Evelyn tells her she just wants her to forget about the rules of this game for once, and imagine being in her shoes as a mother, not knowing if her son is okay or not, and if he needs her help. And Monet still lies to Evelyn face, telling her she don't know what happened to Gordo. And last time she checked, Gordo and Drew was on good terms with each other. Evelyn tells Monet she spared her for Frank's death, but she's not going to let her get away with Gordo's death if she finds out Monet has something to do with it. And Monet instantly took this as a threat. Drew and Kane comes in afterwards, and Monet tells him that they're not going to stop until they find Drew and figure out what happened to Gordo. Drew tells his family that it's on him, and he's going to handle the situation with the Castillo family, and he's going to have to take out the rest of the Castillo family once and for all. Monet agrees to the plan, and she warns Kane and Drew to be careful on their next moves. And honestly, I did not like the way the Castillo family got wiped out. I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was about to be a big-ass bloodbath war between these two, and they got wiped out easy as hell. I did not like how the Castillo family got wiped out. Now, Tariq meets up with Obi, and Obi was in there torturing somebody, trying to pull their teeth out with some pliers, and Tariq was in there shook. I'm not gonna lie, this scene had me shook for a moment. I don't know what the hell Obi was doing, but he was in there torturing somebody, and all I know is they was in pain, and I wish I wasn't that person, because it looked like that shit hurt. Now, Tariq tells Obi that they need an extension on paying Noma her money, and he wants to know if Obi could stall out Noma until he come up with the rest of the cash. Tariq tells Obi he could get him whatever he need, and he just need him to stall out Noma until he comes up with the rest of the money. Obi tells him that Noma influence is the only way that his family could have green cards in Nigeria to come to America, and that's the only thing that's keeping him from betraying her trust. Tariq asks Obi if he come up with a way to get his family green cards, could he stall out Noma for him, and Obi agrees to it, but he tells Tariq he has 72 hours to get it done. Now, Tariq meets up with Rashad Tate, and Tariq tells Tate he need him to get him some green cards in exchange for him giving off the tip about the Russian drug shipment back in episode 7. Tate agrees to help out Tariq, but he asks Tariq if he knows anything about Weston Holders doing dirt. He explains to Tariq that Weston Holders is trying to put him on a payroll, and he needs to know for sure if Weston Holders is doing dirt or not before he accepts the offer. Tariq tells him Weston Holders is good, is clean, and he doesn't have nothing to worry about, and Rashad Tate already knew Tariq was lying the moment he walked off. Rashad Tate just knew. He knew Tariq was lying. So Rashad calls Harper, and Rashad meets up with Harper and one of her lawyer friends to figure out if Tariq is lying about Weston Holders or not. And Harper friends tell Tate that he has proof of Weston Holders doing illegal activities, and the SEC most likely doesn't know about it due to Weston Holders paying someone off to look the other way. Tate tells him that they will have to listen to him now since he's backing him up and supporting him. And Harper tells Tate that this could be dangerous if he exposes the dirt at Weston Holders. But Rashad doesn't care, and he would do anything to boost his campaign vote so he can win this race. And I think this might come back and haunt Tate. I don't know about the situation. I don't think it was a good idea for Rashad Tate to tell everybody that Weston Holders was running a Ponzi scheme. Because a lot of people money was invested in that Ponzi scheme, and now that this Ponzi scheme has been exposed and the feds know about it, Tariq, RJ, or the Tejada family isn't able to get their money back now. And I got a major feeling Something bad is about to happen with this situation. Now, Davis meets up with Effie, and Davis tells Effie that Kane and Tariq sent them down there to help her out, and Effie not trying to seek help from him at all. She tells Davis that he smelled like a bottle of liquor, and she has an attorney already, but she's not able to use the phones to call her attorney because it's a lady that's always cutting her in the line, and the guards act like they don't see it happening. Davis tells Effie that it's a tactic that they use to try to get people to flip, and it's ethical, but it's not illegal. Davis then tells Effie he's going to talk to the captain about it, and as he's walking off, Effie asks Davis about Tariq, and then she says, never mind. Like, Effie, you still worried about Tariq and you and Kane is smashing out? Like, I don't get that. Why is Tariq even in the back of your mind? Why is you even thinking about Tariq and you smashing Kane? Ain't Kane paying for your tuition and all this stuff? Go worry about Kane. Why you worrying about Tariq? My boy Tariq ain't even rocking with you like that no more. Now we get to the next scene at Western Holdings, and the feds is raiding the Western Holdings building after Rashad Tate tipped off the feds about the Ponzi scheme that's being ran up there. Kiki and Braden is having a conversation, and Kiki tells Braden that Lucas slipped out through the back door when the feds arrived, and he left her to take the blame for it. Kiki then asks Braden if he's going to snitch on her about her involvement in the Ponzi scheme, and Braden tells her no. Braden's dad asks Kiki about Lucas, and Kiki tells him she doesn't know where Lucas is at, and she's left in the dark just as well as them. Braden's brother tried to convince his father that Kiki was lying about it and telling him that Lucas and Kiki is allegedly messing around with each other, but Braden had to step in and come to Kiki's defense. He tells his father that Kiki didn't know anything about the Ponzi scheme, and Lucas was the one that was running a Ponzi scheme on his own. He also tells his father that he saw some books with some discrepancies in it, and when he confronted Lucas about it, Lucas told him he was going to take care of it, and he made him promise not to tell anyone about it, including Kiki. And Braden's dad was pissed off once he found out that Lucas was running a Ponzi scheme the entire time. He was pissed the hell off, talking about they gotta find Lucas. Like, Lucas is gone. That man is gone with the wind. He done took y'all money and dipped. But Braden ended up finding him later on in the episode with the help of Kiki. Now, as Davis is walking out the interrogation room, Jenny and Blanca stops Davis, and they tell Davis that they saw him on video when him and Sax was interrogating Diana, and they saw Davis pass Diana a note after he spilled coffee on Sax. Davis tells them that it's illegal for them to be recording him while he's talking to his client, but Blanca tells him as long as they're not recording the audio, it's technically not illegal. Jenny then tells Davis that she knows about him paying off a member of the parole board to get Theo Rollins out of jail. And Jenny pissed me off when she said that shit. I'm not gonna lie. Jenny, you was technically the reason why Theo Rollins got released from jail. You had a part to play in that as well. So how you just go sit there and blame Davis for that? Like, oh yeah, you paid somebody off on the parole board. Like, you did too, because Sax asked you to look out for him, and you told him which parole board jury to get off on the damn parole boards. So not like that, Jenny. You can't be talking about Davis when you had something to do with it as well. Like, how you gonna sit there and blame that man for it, and you know you had your finger in the pot as well? As the conversation continues, Jenny tells Davis that Sax's blood is on his hands, and he's responsible for his death. And Davis ends up going off with Jenny. He tells Jenny that he's going to file a harassment charge against her and Blanca, and if she's looking for someone to blame for Sax's death, she should take a look in the mirror and blame herself. Now, Tariq meets up with Braden, and Tariq tells Braden that they need to find Uncle Lucas as soon as possible. And they need to take him out before he starts snitching to the feds about their Wall Street business. Braden tells Tariq he doesn't know if he could take out his uncle, and he's not trying to be like Tariq and be someone that could just kill anybody with no remorse. He then tells Tariq he changed since they went to choke, and he's not the same person that he met in high school. Tariq tells Braden that he kills people so he can protect both of them, and he needs to find his Uncle Lucas and take him out, because it's either them or him. And this scene right here was fire. I'm not gonna lie, the cinematography, view to the location, the angle, all that was fire. This scene was fire. This reminded me of the OG Power scenes with Ghosted Tommy. I'm not gonna lie, this scene was straight up fire. Now we get to the next scene at the Weston family house, and the SEC has decided to freeze all of their assets in their accounts while they investigate the Ponzi scheme at Weston Holdings. Braden hears a knock at the door, and the feds show up at his house looking for his father, and they want his father to come with them for questioning. Braden tells his dad he doesn't have to do it, but his dad tells him sometimes doing the hard thing is the only right thing to do. And I believe this is what fueled Braden to finally man up and take out his Uncle Lucas later on in the episode. Because Braden couldn't just watch his dad take the fall for something that he didn't do and watch his family fall apart behind Lucas and his Ponzi scheme. So I believe this moment right here is what really fueled Braden and motivated him to go out and find his Uncle Lucas and take him out. Now, Lucas decides to call Blanca and Jenny, and Lucas tells them that he has information about the person that's behind the Ponzi scheme at Weston Holdings, and he also has intel about the drug operation that's being ran up there as well. And in order for him to say something about it, he's going to need immunity in exchange for this information. Jenny tells Lucas she's going to need to take some information first before they could give him immunity, and Lucas tells them to look into the Crash Coin site. Now, Braden meets up with Kiki, and Kiki tells Braden that she's packing up her bags and leaving town now that the Ponzi scheme at Weston Holdings is exposed, and she doesn't want to take the blame for it. Braden tells Kiki if he helps her out by making it all go away, Will she help him out by telling him where Lucas is at? And he promised he won't betray her like Lucas did. Kiki was hesitant at first, but she ended up giving Brayden the whereabouts to Lucas' location. And later on in the episode, Brayden was finally able to find his uncle Lucas and confront him about these Ponzi scheme allegations. Now we get to the next scene with Drew and Kane, and Drew and Kane has decided to take out the rest of the Castile family by setting off a gas bomb inside a bar. And if you ask me personally, the Castile family got taken out too damn easy. Like, I don't understand why Power be bringing in these new characters and killing them off easy. Like, I get they try not to kill off some of the main characters and all that, but we be enjoying these new characters and y'all be killing them off fast as hell. Like I thought it was about to be a big ass war between the Castile family and the Tejada family. I was expecting that. They made the Castile family sound like this big, powerful family from Brooklyn. They got drugs. They connected to the Russians and all that. And they got killed easy. This was one of the easiest kills in Power history. Like, Power, y'all gotta stop bringing in these new characters and killing them off so fast. We be low-key enjoying these new characters and y'all be killing them off easy as hell. Drew walks over to Evelyn and he apologizes to her for what he did to Gordo. And Evelyn tells Drew that Monet set up Lorenzo to be killed and she wanted him dead. And Lorenzo told Monet that the kids was going to find out the truth. And Drew didn't believe it at first until he started doing his homework and putting two and two together. He ended up finding out later on in the episode that Evelyn wasn't lying and she was telling the truth. Now we get to the next scene with Tariq and Diana shows up at his dorm room questioning him about the lock boxes on the rooftop. Tariq tells her he didn't know anything about the cameras being up there and he hasn't been on that rooftop for months. And he only told her to stash her product up there because he was trying to help her. Diana then tells Tariq he must not be working with the feds since he didn't know about her arrest. And Tariq gets pissed off. And I don't blame Tariq for getting pissed off because it's like, Diana, why would you ask that dumbass question? This boy been trying to help you out and help out your ungrateful ass family because the Tejadas is ungrateful as hell. Y'all be having Tariq run around do all y'all goddamn slave work and y'all couldn't even offer this nigga a ride back in season 1 and season 2 when he ain't had no car. So I don't want to hear that. Like, Diana, why would Tariq be trying to snitch on you to the feds when he is helping you? Diana then asks Tariq if she moves out of state to go to college, where would that lead them? And Tariq looking at Diana like, girl, do your thing. I don't care about what you doing. Like, do you? Like, it ain't got nothing to do with me. And I know Diana was low-key butthurt because she thought it was going to be we. It ain't no we, sweetheart. I'm sorry, but Tariq ain't rocking with you like that, Diana. Tariq kicks Diana out of his room once he receives a call from RJ. And RJ wants to know why didn't Tariq tell him about Rashad Tate telling the SEC about the Ponzi scheme at Western Holders. Tariq tells him he didn't know anything about it. He's going to take care of it as soon as possible. And I'm not going to lie, Rashad Tate might be in some shit because of this situation. You messing with people money, especially RJ. That man's a billionaire. Like, bro just lost billions of dollars. And you over here telling the feds they run a Ponzi scheme? Like, I don't know, Tate. I don't know if he going to survive, man. I don't know about Rashad Tate. I hope my man Rashad Tate survived, but Tate, you might be in some shit now. Diana sneaks back into Tariq's room once he leaves out. And Diana ends up finding women's police file under Tariq's bed. And Diana ends up finding out that Lorenzo's fingerprints was found at Zeke's crime scene. And I don't know why would Tariq hide this goddamn folder under his bed like that. I would have put that shit somewhere in the safe or something. That's just my opinion. I don't know. But I knew Diana nosy ass was going to find out the truth. Diana is nosy as hell. She always in everybody's business. And I knew she was going to be the one to find out the truth about what really happened to Zeke and Lorenzo. You heard Monet tell her, go find out what you know. And Diana took that shit serious. She went there, found out some information. But I don't think Monet wanted Diana to find out the truth about what really happened to Lorenzo. And now that Diana knows, she about to be pissed off at her mama. And we see the confrontation happen later on in the episode. Now, Drew and Diana is having a conversation. And Drew asks Diana that Lorenzo has something to do with Zeke's death. He tells her that the police report would explain the fingerprints that was found at the crime scene. And if Monet would have found out about it, she would have had done something about it. He also tells her that Tariq could have been the one that told Monet about it due to her finding the police report in his room. And Monet most likely told Gordo that Lorenzo was the one that killed his father to get him fired up to seek revenge for his father's death. Diana didn't believe it at first because Drew told Monet that IG killed Zeke until Kane walked in and told both of them that Monet didn't believe it and she knew Lorenzo was lying. And the kids now know the truth about what happened to Lorenzo and what happened to Zeke the night he was murdered. And the ghost of Lorenzo told Monet the kids was going to find out and Monet did not want to listen. And Drew pieced 2 and 2 together real quick. And now they about to go confront Monet about the truth. Now Diana, Kane, and Drew confronts Monet and they tell her that they know about Lorenzo's fingerprints being found at Zeke's crime scene. Monet tried to lie about it at first until Drew told Monet to shut the hell up and stop lying. And Monet went off on Drew telling him this her house and he better not be raising his voice at her. Like, I understand Monet on that part. Like, Drew, you better stop raising your voice at your mama. Not like that, but Monet still slapped the hell out your ass. So you might want to lower your tone. Monet tells the kids that Lorenzo wasn't perfect. She tells them that Lorenzo set up Drew to get jumped by the GTG member And he sent Diana to Stansfield to keep her distracted from finding out the truth about what really happened to Zeke. And he knew how much pain she was in about it, and he still lied to her about Zeke's death. Diana starts yelling at Monet, telling her she only thinks about herself, and she was about to lunge at Monet at first until Drew stepped in and held her back. And Monet was in there like, let her go, Drew, let that trick go. Let that trick go. Monet was up in there popping her hands and all that. This scene had me rolling. Diana then tells Monet she made her feel worthless about what happened to Zeke and blamed her for it, and she's the reason for all the bad things that happened in the family, and she should have been the one that got killed instead of Zeke and Lorenzo. And Monet kicked everybody out of the house after she heard this. She smudged the hell out of Drew's face. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I felt that in my soul. Like, get the fuck out of my house. I don't need y'all. That scene was funny as hell. Like, Monet had me crying that whole entire scene. Shout out to Mary J. Blige, because she be acting her ass off. Tariq is meeting up with one of David's clients, and David's client gives Tariq the drop about Lucas' location and his whereabouts. And she also tells him that she seen Brayden walk into the building as well. And Tariq started putting on the black gloves, getting ready for action, looking just like his daddy. And I need Tariq to stop saying, oh, I'm not like my daddy, I'm smarter than him, I'm better than him. Yeah, nigga, you still acting just like your daddy. Now Lucas is having a conversation with Brayden, and Brayden wants Lucas to sign this agreement, admitted to being the one that was behind the Posse scheme, and if he does this, he could get him out of town and away to a country out of the States where they can't indict him for it. And Brayden low-key gave Lucas a good deal. I'm not gonna lie, if I was Lucas, I would have took that goddamn deal and dipped. You mean to tell me I can't get indicted? Man, I'm gone, and I already got some money put up. I'm gone. But Lucas wasn't trying to hear that. Lucas started talking shit. He was telling Brayden he not scared of him or his black friends, that he could pin the Posse scheme on his dad and Kiki, and Tariq and Brayden is going to take the fall for their little Western Holdings drug operation they got going on. And Brayden finally did what needed to be done. And he took out his Uncle Lucas with no hesitation. That boy Brayden pushed that boy over that balcony so cold. He grabbed him up, come here, nigga, and pushed him over the balcony and dropped straight to the goddamn floor. Well, he hit the car. He ain't hit the floor, but man, Lucas is gone now. I was so happy when I saw Brayden get his first kill. Brayden finally manned up and did what needed to be done. And when Tariq saw that body hit the car, he got the hell out of there. He looked like, oh, I know what time it is. I'm gone. Now, Kane goes and visits Effie in prison, and we see Kane up in there looking like Malcolm X with the suit on, trying to play as a lawyer. I swear my boy was up in there looking like Malcolm X. I don't care what nobody was saying on the internet, because they was roasting the hell out of Kane last weekend. My boy was up in there looking like Malcolm X. I'm telling y'all, Kane looked like Malcolm X in this scene. This scene had me rolling. Now, Kane tells Effie she needs to put the blame on Tariq and flip on him so she could get out of jail. And Effie tells Kane she not flipping on Tariq, and she ain't built like that. Kane gets upset when he hear this, and he tells Effie he the only one that been having her back instead of Tariq. And Effie tells Kane she didn't ask him to have her back. And just because they smash doesn't mean they gonna be together. And Effie dogged Kane out like it was nothing. Kane really caught feelings for Effie. He hit the punani a couple of times. It was in his feelings simply over Effie. He really thought he had some with Effie. But Effie had to let him know this ain't what it is, boy. I'm only out for myself. Now we get to the next scene with Tariq and 2-Bit. And your boy 2-Bit finally returned to the Power universe, and we ain't seen 2-Bit since episode 108 of Power. They need to give my boy 2-Bit some more screen time, because 2-Bit one of the OGs from the original Power. My boy 2-Bit came back. It's been a long time coming. I'm glad 2-Bit came back. 2-Bit tells Tariq that Sax left him a letter with his mom's safe house location, and he's going to need him to give him 100 bands, plus on top of the 50K he already owe him. And he tells Tariq he's going to take his car. And he tells Tariq he can have his old car instead. And this scene had me cracking up. 2-Bit really came back after being gone for 2 years and took Tariq Porsche. This was probably one of the fastest robbery scenes in Power history. 2-Bit straight robbed Tariq for his whip, and Tariq couldn't do nothing about it. This scene was funny as hell, and I'm mad my boy Tariq lost his whip. I ain't gonna lie, that blue Porsche was clean as hell, and I'm gonna miss seeing Tariq roll around in that blue Porsche. But he gotta push this bucket for now. And I'm not gonna lie, Tariq was whipping the hell out that hoe. He was smashing that bucket down the street. Now Tariq calls Tamika, and he tells her that Tasha is in danger and her location might be exposed, and he wants her to send some extra guards by her house. Tamika tells Tariq she'll send the marshals by in the morning to check it out, but Tariq tells her that he needs this to happen right now. And Tamika agrees to Tariq's request, and she sends the marshals over there to check on Tasha, Yasmin, and Big Mama for. Now Tariq shows up at Tasha's safe house, and he sees his mother outside with his grandma talking about Yasmin and how she doesn't have a normal life anymore. Yasmin ends up spotting Tariq sitting outside when she got home, and next thing you know, we hear a Mustang engine roaring. And your boy Tommy Egan is back, and I'm not gonna lie, I got excited when I seen that blue Mustang pull up. I already knew what time it was. My boy Tommy was on the mission, and he told Tariq he wasn't gonna stop until he found Tasha, and he got the address on Tasha, and that boy hopped out killing everybody. He jumped out and killed them 2 police officers like it was nothing. Now Tommy confronts Tasha, and he tells Tasha that Monet gave up her address, and she told him where to find her at. And Tariq is hearing all of this while he hiding in the kitchen. And as Tommy is about to get ready to shoot Tasha, Tariq comes out the cut and point a gun at Tommy, telling him to stop. He tells Tommy that he loves him, but he'll put a bullet in him to stop him from killing his mother. And Tommy tells Tariq that he knows he would kill him because he already killed his father, and it wouldn't be a problem for him to kill him. It's easy, it ain't nothing. As Tariq was about to pull the trigger on Tommy, one of the officers that Tommy shot came in and started shooting at Tommy, and Tommy was able to take out the police officer. And as Tommy turned around towards Tariq's direction, we see Tariq get knocked out by somebody from the back, and the screen went black. Tariq wakes up in the hospital, and Tamika tells him that the marshals found him unconscious, and his grandmother and sister is safe, but Tasha is missing, and they can't find her. And your boy Tariq is now about to have more problems to face in this season finale now that his mama is missing. And if you watched the season finale already, do not spoil the episode. I'm telling y'all, it's some people that already watched the episode, and there's some that didn't, and some people don't want the spoilers. Some know what happened when Tariq got knocked out from the back, but don't spoil it for nobody. Please do not spoil it for nobody. Let the viewers watch the episode and see what happens, because a lot of people don't like spoilers. So if you've seen it, don't spoil it for nobody. But overall, episode 9 was lit. This was another good ass episode. I'm not gonna lie. Episode 9 was one of them ones that was up there. But if you like this video, make sure you hit that like button, that subscribe button, and turn on your post bell notifications to get notified every time I upload a video. But it's your boy DC. I'm out. I'll see you guys next time.